So we got a spot here where the beavers are building right in the ditch. This is a county road, and then you can see there's I believe it's CN or CP track railway. So we can't trap on that side near the railway because that's all their property, even though they want the beavers out here. But we can trap in the county right away, and then on the private property between the two right of ways. So generally have to deal with this spot every year. They really like plugging this one up, so, and I think we keep taking all the beavers out of here this spring, so there's still lots of poplar left for them, and that's why they keep coming back. But yeah, gotta take them out or else there's gonna be water on the roads. So we'll set one conibear in here and another one on this other dam over here. Now again, if you're trapping roadways like I'm doing here, a little bit different than lots of guys are used to. I talk with the landowners down the road on both sides here. They both know there's traps here. This is a dead end road, nobody comes down here, so I don't have to worry about traps getting stolen, that sort of thing. But my concern is always dogs and children. These guys have older children, they're in their teens, I'm not too worried about them, but their dogs do come down this way. So before I come out here, I always get a hold of them and text them or call them and let them know. So they're really good to work with. I guess I'm really lucky. I have awesome landowners and reasonable people around this area to work with. Some people don't get that opportunity, so that's why I'm able to set traps as obvious and as simple as I can right along the roads, instead of having to hide them or trying to go into the bush somewhere, keep them underwater all the time. So just something to keep in mind. You know, if you do catch a dog or a kid, it's on the whole trapping community, not just the individual trappers. So do your best to avoid that when you can, and yeah, have fun out there. We're up here on this first dam, and you can see that the county must have blasted this last year, or taken it out, I'm not sure. Maybe it washed out on its own. But generally a trap on this spot here is where my hole in the dam usually is. They never fixed it up, but they're crossing over down it. So instead of putting a trap on a cross over here and notching that out, I'm going to put the trap down below and just have it sitting there as a kind of a blind set where they're crossing over. And then I'm going to put a little hole in the dam somewhere over on this side here. So the reason why I'm doing that is kind of, if all of a sudden they find the hole in the dam set, they accidentally, you know, snap it off in their nose and get away, they're gonna be wrecked for this set here. I'll never catch them in that again. So if I can set a blind set over here where they're not expecting it, there's no reason for them to suspect that I'm there, it's not something they're used to, I'm likely still gonna catch it over there, even if I've educated one here, which generally we're trying not to do, but we're kind of planning ahead doing that. Another thing I see is a castor mount, which I usually don't have on this spot here. I've had a castor mount over there before, where that one is. So if I come back in here and these traps are set off and not catch them in the conibears, I can always throw, or the body grip, sorry, I can always throw a foothold over in one of those pockets over there, or over on this side, and there should be enough water depth in here to drown them. So kind of good options. This is a gravy spot, and then again there's dam down there, so I'm going to punch a hole in there, and I don't know whether I'll bother putting a trap in it or not, because I know the beavers are living up in this pond here. So this spot gives me tons of options, and if none of those work, I can switch to a live cage or even shooting. So doesn't get much better than a location like this. So we get set up and I'll show you what's going on. Again, this is quick and simple stuff. So got the conibear sitting there, I have the triggers on top, and you can see the two sticks on either side through the outlet are nice and low. That way that trap can fire off and he can come out and float up over here if he wants. And then for this, I just have the crossover going down. I took some mud and slicked it up so that you can see something's crossing over, and that's naturally how they're going down. But triggers on top, you're probably going to get a suitcase catch out of that, but that's all we're doing for this spot. And I'm going to go down and notch a hole in that dam. I don't think I'll put a trap down there, but I'm gonna set one over by where we have the truck parked on the road. We got the last trap in here. I did end up setting a trap on the farther down dam. I said why not, so I took it down there with me. But just a quick look at this one. So I put it out about a foot in front of the dam, but then I took some grass and stuff and put it up beside to blend it in, just so it's less visible from the road. Oh, I just seen a stick. I don't want that stick piling up right there. Just some stuff to block it off a little bit so it's not quite as visible. The other thing I did is I used a Duke trap rather than one of my Blau Super X's or even a Savage L, just because it's a lot shorter. So when that water goes down, it'll stick out maybe 4 inches or so. And the other thing is, I'd rather one of those get stolen, if anything else, than one of my better traps. Again, the sticks on the sides are low, so the trap should fire off and hopefully the beaver ends up out there. There's lots of extra cable here. He's got about 5-6 feet that he can go out that way and tuck under the grass when he gets caught. So again, not as visible from the road. And then if there is a second beaver here, which I don't think, it won't be as smart to where the trap was placed. So that's this location. Okay, so we're back up at the spot we set yesterday, and this is where we set the crossover. We got one beaver down there, and we got one beaver over there in the hole in the dam. But you can see here, they blocked this one up, but the really interesting part is there's a third beaver up in that trap over there. And this is the set that I didn't get on video. I did this one on my own. So it's the farthest down one. And holy crap. So we got one here. And the one dam in the middle is rebuilt. But the other two are still flowing just like this. I was gonna pull traps because I thought there'd only be 1 or 2 beaver here, but this is the 4th beaver we caught in 4 traps. So I think I'm gonna reset. I don't know. I expected only 1 beaver here. There should only been 1 or 2 beavers here at the most. But yeah, I'll take it, I guess. There's 4 extras, so I'll go ahead and I'll reset this set, and then I'll reset the other ones, and I guess we'll leave her for one more day. That's pretty awesome though. 4 to 4, 100% here.
I've been traveling on the wrong side of the highway. I ain't been right since you left. Just trying to do things my way. Well, it turns out my way ain't the best. Skipping train yards, thinking about graveyards. Wonder, Lord, what would they ever write on mine? Another soul laid to rest on cold Montana morning, just trying to make it north of 49. wants to go back home. Skipping train yards, thinking about graveyards. Wondering, Lord, well, would they ever ride on mine? Another soul laid to rest on a cold Montana morn.
And you're probably wondering why I didn't bring setters with myself, and that's because I honestly didn't believe there'd be a beaver down here. I left the setters up the other spot there with the other two beavers that are caught, so yeah, like I said, don't know why, but I'll take it. We got this one here. As you can see, he's got enough cable there to get out and away from where he was caught. I like him to go farther, but where he is alright. So we'll get this one reset too. Dead end road and all kinds of stuff.
As I sit here tonight, my thoughts wander like the ashes still burning from yesterday's fire. Thinking about the days and reaching for the bottle to soak up this pain in my heart. I get to drinking and dreaming about a gal from the hillside. Had a voice like the wind through the pines. Her words cut through me like the waves through the ocean.
Oh yeah, pretty simple there. Set it up the same way I had it the other day, but yeah. Okay, so here's the middle down here. And like I was saying, there's one beaver right there on the crossover, and then another beaver out on there, but you can see another beaver plugged that up. So I don't know if that's the fourth beaver we caught down at the bottom, or yeah, I'm not sure. So that's why we're gonna reset here one more time. I was planning on pulling traps today. I thought there'd only be one or two, but got a nice little surprise here, and maybe there's another one. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So yeah, I'll get these reset and off we go. So I'm just getting any loose material out of the way. Anything that's gonna float down into the trap that's close by. This is an older salvage though, so I really got to watch my fingers. That safety on this side doesn't like to stay on. The other side I have I think this one broke a spring or something, I can't remember, or if I just added that Belial safety on because I had spares at home, I can't remember, but this side's got a Belial safety on that spring, so or it might have been missing a safety, and that's why I put that on. But so there's that one. This one here. Ooh. Made a little bit of a mess out of this. if you're setting traps, don't set them like I just did, where it went over top of my knee. That's a really good way to get caught. And I have done that before, but when you're setting them, try to keep it flat on your thigh if you're going to set them the way I just did. If it goes over top of your kneecap, you can, if you slip at all, the trap will fire and then come flying off your knee and up into your face. So okay, that looks pretty good. It's not in there solid, but it looks good. There we go. That's nice and solid. See, it hardly wiggles there. That's all you need. And then a couple sticks, break up the outline and make them want to go right through it. So there you go. That's one trap, two traps. We got three and a fourth one down there, and they all produced today. Maybe we got one or two more tomorrow. Just looking at them before I load them up, they're all the same size. Like they're fair sized beavers, so yeah, I'm surprised they all moved down at the same time or living near each other. So last spot of the day here, we're back at a location we trapped about a month ago. It's along the railway track and the right of way here. So we got another beaver moved in, and we're going to set up a trap here and try and get them cleaned out here tonight. I'm thinking there's only one since we caught 4 here last time, but I'm going to set up 2 or 3 traps, same ones we had last time, and hopefully I'll clean them out. Every day there's something new. We got a whole flock, I don't know if I can zoom that in, whole flock of farm ducks here. Oh boy. So the house is just across over here where the lady lives. I asked her to keep her dogs home because we have a pretty good relationship, so when I need to come in here, they're the ones who call us to come in here. She always ties up her dogs. I just have to let her know when I'm coming through. And our dogs are on the road here, and I met the husband. He goes, yeah, we'll get those taken care of, so that's awesome. Setting traps, and here these things come up the stupid creek. So yeah, I don't know if it's safe to put a hole in the dam set here. Luckily I'm using a foothold for the crossover. I'm going to put it a little bit deeper so these guys won't set it off. I'll give the landowner a quick text and see if she can put those away. But yeah, last time I was here we put a conibear in a crossover right here, and we had a hole in the dam there, so I'm just happy we didn't catch a farm duck in one of those. So yeah, so we're back at this spot here to check traps. I was told the ducks would be put away in their pen, but it seems as if they're still here. So really hoping we don't have one in this foothold. As I see, oh, the trap's still there. I don't know if it's set off or not, but you see the square tubing here. It's underneath all this stuff. So try not to get myself caught, I guess is the big thing right now. Holy heck, gets down under there pretty good. Oh, it's set off. Nothing in it, just set off. So that sucks. Okay, we'll get this reset. I see the water hasn't gone down much, so. But we'll go check that conibear and come back to, or that body grip and come back to here. Well, that's no darn fun. It took me a minute to find the trap, but he had it set off. Bunch of crap thrown in it. So I'm gonna reset this one here. I think what I'm gonna do is pull that foothold that's down that spot over there, and I'm actually gonna throw a live trap in. I've got one in the truck with me, so I might as well use it. But another week before I have time to start playing with these guys, I'll just do it the easy way. Hopefully the easy way. So yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so what I'm using here is the Comstock live beaver cage. Or sorry, this isn't the Comstock. We have the Comstock at the other spot there. This is the Coro clam. And reason why we're using it partially is because these guys here, I really don't want to catch them. So I'm not going to play with conibears or body grips and footholds, around this area. But so the first thing we're going to do with this is we have to put these ends into these rings right here. So sorry, I might have had the camera turned. These ends into these rings on either side to hold this frame open. So just lay it flat. If you step on the back, it's really hard to do it one-handed and with a glove on. But I'm going to try this. So just got to wiggle it around until you get it over top. I might not be able to do this one-handed. Oh, there we go. So there we go. So that ring's on there. That's on. So we'll go to the other side. We do the other same thing. Again, if I had two hands, I could do this a lot quicker. There we go. So that's that. Both rings are sitting on those locks. Flip it over. Jack back. Now, first thing you'll do is make sure this guy is wiggled up because it kind of gets stuck on this this corner here. So you want it up as far as it'll go because it's got room to move back and forth there. So just bring it all the way up as far as it'll go. Then make sure this guy's flapped over because if it's sitting down like this, it's a pain to maneuver and get up into place. Step on the frame back here. You'll push this tab up, or the lock up, and just pull backwards on the cage. This is where you have to maneuver that pin through the chain link. And then it goes into that gap right there. You spin this guy over top. And again, I'm trying to do this one-handed, so I'll use my foot on there. I usually don't. So here's a problem I'm having. I got the dog for the trigger underneath that thing, so I have to release this. Then I can flip that dog back over. Put this back down and just make sure it's still catching there. You're going to push that guy down and your trigger sits on that. Now if I wasn't setting this up or whatever, I was just setting it off to the side, that's a safety hook there. So now the trap can't fire. It's safe. So if I want to set that trigger, again, you kick this guy off. Put that up in there. Now I'm holding with the left hand. What you have to do is with your other hand, hold tight onto here to make sure that can't release. Because if it does, this bar here, the frame of the trap, is going to come back and smoke you in the teeth, and you're not going to have any left in your face. So these are a really dangerous trap to play with. I don't suggest doing it the way I'm doing it here with just one hand. So I'm going to set this phone down for a second. So I'm holding on to the latch, just like I was saying. So that's the last thing I'm going to do, is get my face out of the way. I'll tip it up, and I'm out of the way of the trap. You can kind of play with, while you're holding on to this side, you can play with how far down you want your triggers or your pan set, the angle that's at. So I have it set as far back as it can go before it'll fire. And yeah, so that's how you can set the coral clam. And I'm just gonna get a spot set in here, nice, that I can put it on, and then I'll take another video. So I've technically got this trap upside down. I have the chain link side up and the hard side on the bottom. I block it from behind with a stick like this, so it's nice and sturdy, it doesn't move or shake at all. And then the last thing you have to do is make sure that lock tab down there isn't pushed in at all. You want that to be free and away from any debris. Make sure the corners are cleaned off if you pushed it down the mud at all. You don't want anything to obstruct the trap from closing once it fires. Now, I don't tie that off at all. I just have it sitting in there as is. When the beaver's caught, he kind of sticks his feet through the bottom and walks himself down to deeper water there. So that way he's not around. I don't have to deal with him. When I come back, he's already dead. Because yeah, this is how I use them, and the reason I use them like this is for smart beavers. In Alberta, we're not allowed to transport live beaver at all without special permits, which they usually won't issue. So even if I did catch this beaver in the live cage, I'd have to dispatch it here on site. So that's why we're using this live cage set up like this. The other way they usually advertise is the other upside down, or the right side up, I guess. It'd be the chain link on the bottom, the hard one on top, and you have two sticks sticking up, tied off, and that way the trap can't go off into the water, that sort of thing. So yeah, kind of different way to do things, and it works really well. So if it's legal in your state and province, that's just another tool in the bag for you. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Looks like these guys are. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that sort of thing, and we'll keep growing the channel, and I'll try posting up more content for you guys. All right, have a good night. We got a call from the one landowner here, the one with the ducks, that beaver was caught, but it was caught by the arm. She sent a picture, and I knew it was caught high in the arm, and so I raced over here as quick as I could, and we just dispatched it. So this is the one that set off this conibear, or body grip, sorry, and likely the foothold down below, and didn't get caught. So glad we got him. Just looking, and looks like the live cage way down there is still set. So I think I'm gonna pull this conibear here, or this, sorry I keep calling them conibears, this body grip we're gonna pull, and we'll leave the live trap there. I've got it open, and I'll just go make sure there's not a bunch of mud and stuff on it, but we'll pull this out of here. It's not a catch you want to get. Luckily it was high enough up on the arm it held him, so it was only about 10-15 minutes away. Yeah, really happy she got a hold of me, because yeah, this guy would have either broke the wire overnight or twisted out and left his arm there, and then that's not nice for the animal, but makes my job a lot harder too. So really happy we were able to get here and dispatch it. So that's it for the night, I hope. Well, I took most of the afternoon off here. I had to do some other things and had a nap and caught up on some sleep here, but I did check 2 more traps since the last video there. Foothold was set off and didn't catch anything, and another conibear was set off and did not catch anything. And we get to this trap here, and there wasn't supposed to be any more beavers, but you can see there's mud pushed up against the front of it on either side of the trigger, and not anything caught. I don't know how it happens like this, but it just seems you have days where you get humbled pretty hard, and I would have to say this is that day, but really makes you appreciate some of the amazing days you have. You have too many of those in a row, it gets to your head, I think, but these ones sure show you how good you are. So I'm not sure. I see a whole pile of ripples in here. The beaver might just be sitting in this little spot behind me here. So I'm going to open up this dam. I'm going to set this trap quite a bit lower. And I might go grab the rifle, because I'm pretty sure there's a beaver in here, judging by those ripples. Well, I got the water opened up a little bit here. Just quickly with the pickaxe, I took a couple swings, but I got my cheering section. They're enjoying their best lives, so I had a few more spots I wanted to get to tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to bother. I think I might just sit here, see if I can't shoot this one. Or, I don't know, we'll see. I might even just set the live cage here, and I brought a cellular trail camera with me, and I might set it up just to see how he's interacting with it. And yeah, maybe I'll just set up the trap there and I'll run to another spot. And yeah, I got a few that I need to clean out, not just this one here. So yeah, I'll get this set up and we'll head out. Water looks to be down at this location here. But I see our trap is still set. What exactly is going on, I do not know. But looks like the beaver just patched up around that. And our camera was set here, didn't do a darn thing, I don't know why. So this is going to get a little bit harder and harder to set every time the water goes down. So essentially you want this pan here to be about 3 or 4 inches underneath the water. Where it's sitting there, probably he's not going to hit it. So yeah, I'll have to get the pickaxe out and I'll have to pull a whole bunch of stuff out around down here, but I'll leave it higher, sitting at where it's at right here, so it's still trickling, and that way the trap can sit down farther. And then again, my goal with this trap is when he gets caught in there, he's going to actually walk this trap down to deeper water, and then he'll be dispatched when I get here. Um, One of the big reasons I do that, they can damage these traps quite a bit, and they do. If they're sitting in here for 4 or 5 hours before you get here, they'll actually thrash around, they'll bite on the bars, they'll break all the clips, they'll start wrecking the chain link, that sort of thing. So if I can have them dispatched as quick as possible, it really doesn't take them long. 5-10 minutes in the trap, they figure out they can get their feet through the bottom and they actually walk themselves out. The other thing is, if they're in there long enough, better chance of that lock slipping and the lid opening up and them getting out somehow. So I don't like having beaver sitting in the trap very long. That's why a lot of times I'll actually use this camera on here. Oh, my friends are back. But that's why I'll use this camera on here lots of times, so I can see exactly when it gets caught. And yeah, I can roll over at 7 in the morning, check the camera, and then if I need to, I can run out here and deal with it. But yeah, we'll get this all patched up here. Maybe I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll head off to the next couple spots. Okay, so we got this set. As you can see, the pan is just underneath the water, about probably 2 inches there. I left a little bit of extra mud behind here. I'm hoping the water will come up an inch or two. It should. This stuff, they seem to plug it with about 2 or 3 days it floods over, so I'm guessing it'll raise at least an inch or two here today. If not, maybe it'll take a little bit longer, but figure out what was wrong with the camera. I was pretty tired last night, and of course I left it in setup mode. So that's why it wasn't taking any photos, which kind of sucks. But then we got our best friends right here. Hey, duck, 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 duck. No, they don't want to talk now. But again, that's part of the reason why we're using live cage here. That, and seems to be pretty smart to the footholds and the body grips. But I am seeing, I don't know if you can see it in the video, if there's some bright mud right there. Wondering if that's a den. So next time I come, I'll have to bring my waders and go exploring, and if we don't have them here, we'll maybe go set some dens up with conibears or body grips. Hey guys. Okay, we'll see you later. This is day number 5, I think. This trap's been set here. So you can see the stick I had pushed up behind the trap down here is knocked over. Trap's kind of laying flatter. I don't really want to sit like that. And then the beavers brought in this willow as well. So on camera here, we've got him a few times coming in. He circles around, he looks around, and then he swims off, that sort of thing. But other than that, we haven't got too much video of him coming up. I can see he's been freshly mudding up right along here. And then same with over here, he's been coming up and down. So gonna leave this trap for a couple more days between me and the landowner. We've been checking it every day. But if he doesn't get caught here soon, what I'm gonna end up doing is grabbing some body grips, and I'll go up along the bank and try and find dens that are in these spots. I think there's one over there, actually. It kind of looks like it. But I'll set 3 or 4 of them up. I'll bring my waders and I'll walk up the creek and find them. And yeah, we'll have to get them that way, because it seems to be pretty smart to this trap here. Well, all the traps actually on any of the dams he's pretty skittish of. So that'll be our next step if this doesn't work. But we'll reset it. I'm gonna change the card out, and morning guys. So got a picture this morning. The cage finally closed, and it looks like beavers have freshly been coming across there over the crossover. But this is that live cage we put in quite a while ago. I showed you guys how to set it up so it actually kills the beavers. This one didn't pull the trap down. I can see there's a beaver inside the cage here. I'll pull it up in a second. But usually they stick their feet through and drag themselves farther. This one didn't. So it's still sitting up against this stick here, the support that I had for it. But here you can see he is dead in the trap. So you do have to be careful setting the traps like this. Don't expect that they're going to die in the trap every time, because there's a chance this beaver could have just not had enough water to completely submerge that trap. Luckily I had the camera here. I could see there was no movement or no bubbles, that sort of thing happening, but I still tried to get here as quick as possible. So it was, I think, 6:52 this morning when that trap went off, or when the camera sent that picture, and it's about 7:30 right now. So 40 minutes this beaver's been in the trap for. So yeah, that's a really good morning. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this one cleared by the end of the month, so I'm going to pull the camera down here, and we'll check the videos and that sort of thing. So maybe I'll post up a video of it getting caught if I can.
Yeah, we're just trying to make it, and we're north of 4 now.